And we are live. Thanks a lot for everyone tuning in. Maybe no one's tuned in yet. But
there's always a like. This is always the awkward bit where
No,
we're actually not talking to anyone.
No, we're gone live now. We're gone live.
When I get the notification,
yeah.
When I get the notification, I click on it straight away, and then it's not like live. Like I don't get it until like 5 minutes.
Really?
Like you'll be halfway through like one of your first articles, and I've just got the notification.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, now we are.
We've got a couple of viewers. That's good. Everyone will start piling in. Welcome aboard. There you go. Just piling up. Everyone's coming.
I mean, the fans are arriving now. They've seen my face.
I've got a few people commenting. Welcome every week. Birchie, great to see you, bro. Thanks a lot for that, Josh. I know I went like that for. I'm in a real thing.
You're getting more vulgar by the day.
I don't know what it is.
We're saying that I was doing that in England, and everyone was like,
I've never done that in my life. It's like, yeah, fucking, I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I went to go like this, and I was like...
But you can get away with it. When you see, like, an English person walking around going, hi, it looks ridiculous.
It has a thing, like, when someone goes like this, it's like, it's for a cigarette, a special cigarette. It's like,
what?
Yeah, mate. It's like a bogan symbol.
For a cigarette?
A joint.
Yes,
like
I
this.
figured that much.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're live, and everyone's tuning in, and yes, I've got long hair. It just keeps growing. For those of you that were here last fortnight, I've got a goal of hang 10.
See,
hang 10.
it's a surf thing. I thought
Maybe
it was a
it
surf thing.
I don't know. Maybe I was growing up in Western Sydney. Who knows? So.
You're doing it ironically.
But yeah, it's just not cutting my hair until I get a certain goal hit. So just gonna really annoy myself with
What's
it.
the goal?
Well, I wanted to cut the rat's tail off, but I'm like, I can't cut the rat's tail off. It's grown pretty long now, right? It's really nice.
It's like to here.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Yeah, me to there.
But yeah, I wanted to get rid of it, but I was like, I need to lose weight because I feel like a cartoon character. I'm looking like Family Guy, right? I'm getting so fat and all that stuff. So I was like, I need to lose some weight. And I was like, when I get under 100 kilos, like I'm 6'4", and
You're 100 kilos?
I was 120 kilos.
But is that not because you're a large human?
Oh yeah, I should be about like, if I was ripped and stuff in my prime, I'd probably be like 96 or something. So I want to get to 99. So that's my goal. So when I get to 99, all gets shaved off. Yeah, all my hair, all zero. Balding.
Oh, can we talk before that?
I've done a heap, so it'll grow back in a week. It's all right. But that's why I did it. But anyway, tonight I have Gemma with us today, so it's good to catch up with you because you've been away for quite a while. Like you went away for like a month.
It was a long time.
So I didn't see you before Christmas, and then you came back, and then I haven't been in the office until today really. Like I came in for a couple of hours, did a film last time, but I haven't been with the team. I've just been working on myself and busy working and stuff, so it's good to catch up with you. So.
I haven't seen you for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a quiet 3 months, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Well, we've been busy, like you've been away, like I only had like a day off or 2 days off over Christmas break. I was just, had lots of things going on. So, yeah, here we are. Sarah says it's good to see you, Gemma.
Hey!
You've got a fan here, so it's good. Today, we've got a few things to talk about. So agenda tonight, I'm going to play a video and talk about the video, which is pretty cool. I just posted in the Birch feed, so people can watch it there afterwards as well. I'm going to talk about interest rates. Everyone's talking about interest rates going up. I'm going to talk about when interest rates will drop and how it will impact property investors. I'm going to talk about some articles, as always. Going to ask you a few questions. And we'll start off by asking you a few questions for everyone here. So, tell us something no one in our audience knows about you.
This had the entire team stumped today because I'm so gobby. There's lots that everyone knows. So the only thing I could really come up with is that I have 5 nibblings.
There must be a pommy thing. Tell us, what's a nibbling?
It's not.
What's a nibbling?
It was specifically designed for this because it's actually the collective word for nieces and nephews, which I never knew ever, and lots of people.
So you got 5 nieces and nephews.
Yes. So and then I got
a nibbling.
It's called a nibbling.
Where in what planet? Like
because
what
it's
language?
like the ibling comes from sibling, and the N is from the niece and nephew. Google it. It's true.
But where's the niece and nephew? There's no nebblings. It'll be a nibbling, a niece and.
It just said nibbling. I
This
Googled
is not
it.
inclusive enough.
What do you mean it's not inclusive enough?
Well, it's only taking the niece and not the nephew.
No, it is. The
Nibbling.
N for nibbling. Sorry, N for niece and N for nephew.
Yeah, where's
But
the E? Nibbling. It should be nibbling.
It would be nibbling.
All right,
No,
I've never heard
yes.
of it.
So that was what
So
made
you
me
got
think of.
5
All about the
nieces and
education.
nephews.
Yes.
There we go.
Beautiful.
I saw you post on like Instagram or something the
Yes,
other day.
did you
like
see my jumper?
I saw it saying you got. I can see you got it.
What
there.
did it
It's
say?
called the Cool Art Club.
Official member of the Cool
What
Club.
is that?
What?
What's that?
It's the cool art. My nieces, my
Oh, they think you're
nibblings
cool,
were
yeah.
calling me cool, and I'm an official member now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it
Anyway.
was like something in Pommyland.
What appreciation?
I didn't know if it was like a restaurant or where you took them or something. I just saw the shirt. You had it
No.
on. Okay.
I'm the cool aunt that like travels around and gets too drunk.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually have my own children, you know,
Okay.
so I get to go home and spoil them.
You give them
Um,
all the red cordial and shit. They think, oh, Auntie Gemma's cool. Fucking treat them with everyone. You don't have to worry about the consequences. Send them home. Off you go.
That's it, 100.
Yeah.
Well, yes, actually, but 2 of them are little entrepreneurs.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, I'm trying to like nurture that in a way.
Okay, cool. So you spend a lot of time with your nieces and nephews?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, they're
so-
the little mini me's, and we go out and we do like there's something called Go Ape in England where you like climb in the forest and the trees,
Okay.
and they find it excellent fun. Then Auntie Nema
Okay.
falls into the lake and gets like whiplash and a grass rash up my back.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's good fun.
I had for my nieces and nephews. I got a
Your what?
nieces and nephews, nibblings.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call them nibblings because then it's like got all the letters. But I put a big in my new big house that I got. It doesn't have a pool, so I'm waiting for a pool to get built. So I put like some soap suds and some plastic down. Ran the hose for a few hours on Christmas Day, and I jumped on it and look at my back. A stick.
Yeah?
Yeah, a stick was
Oh
in the
my
ground.
god, it's like purple.
A stick went in my back. So someone just wrote something funny in there.
Every fucking time.
I slid down this thing and then a stick went in my back and ripped my back
Jesus.
apart. Yeah.
Well, it's
so-
a bit dramatic saying it ripped it apart.
Well, it's-
There's a scrape.
It's a
on
scar.
your-
It's a scar. Like
Ah,
it's something
when was
big.
it done?
Christmas Day.
Ah, that'll fit.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'll fit.
Anyway, tell us, Gemma, what are some of the biggest decisions you have made last year or you will be making this year in 2023? Because I haven't seen you. Tell me some goals.
My goals. Okay.
So, what are you going to do?
So I'm gonna try and become an Australian citizen.
You Australian? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were.
Yeah, I'm here legally. Don't worry, but I'm not quite a
I'm
citizen.
not going to have the...
The immigration banging down the door.
No, okay.
No. I'm a permanent resident, which gives me all the same rights as
Okay.
a citizen to stay here and buy property and stuff, which was the main thing. So I want to apply for my citizenship. I really want to start studying something.
Okay.
I don't know what, but I want to study something.
Okay.
And I'm actually on. I joined. This is something people don't know. I joined a spiritual centre. I've gone a bit Byron Bay, and
Okay.
so I'm on this like personal growth year.
Okay.
And that means going to, I've just found a chiro that's like holistic and does nutrition as well as physical corrections and anti-parasites.
Yeah. there's not
Don't
bad.
turn that rock
No,
over.
it's like making sure you don't have like... You have
No,
good
what I'm saying is we all do.
Yeah, I know, like candida and stuff. Like it's like it makes you crave for like
Sugar,
sugar
yes,
and
and make really
milk
bad
and stuff.
decisions,
And-
yes. Don't
Yeah.
turn that rock over until you're prepared to be paranoid daily. So yeah, I want to get my
That's my
health,
keys.
my health in order, and just really level up this year in general terms,
Yeah,
and maybe buy a property or two. If
just
I
a
can.
property or two. Okay.
Yeah.
You sent me a text the other day, and I think that was a yes that you should have done.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually already spoke to
Yeah.
her to get it done.
And
So
you
she's
thinking of
working on it.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
But also, we're also preparing for the last one.
Okay.
Because with the collaborations, I may be able to get the deposit for it.
Here we go.
So
There we go.
I've still got the contract under my desk. You can see it,
Yeah.
and it's like the big one. And
Okay.
just in case, I can get the other one.
Didn't someone take it?
Yes, but I told him this is the one. If he doesn't do it, and he's probably watching, that if he doesn't do it, I'm literally gonna pull it from him.
Okay, cool. So, what do you think the biggest opportunities in the whole property market or economy or the things that you're seeing, and what do you think the opportunities are, the biggest ones at the moment?
I think there's not enough. Well, there is enough attention to it, but not in the right light. So the rental crisis. Like, my rent just got put up like $70 per week. Everyone's getting. Is the word rotted? Is that the word in Australian?
No, when you said it, Gemma, like, I had a fucking. The viewers may have noticed it. I had
What?
the biggest smile. I just went, yes. Like, yes, you're upset because you like my rent got put up.
No, exactly. But everyone's getting ripped off.
Well, it's not ripped off. It's amazing.
Yes, as a tenant, right?
Yeah.
But when you're a tenant, the rent's going up, right? And it's annoying. It is annoying. Okay.
Yeah.
However, for our investors in this space, it's great. That's a big
That's
opportunity.
what I'm saying. That's
Yes,
why.
yes, but it's still painful for me.
I know.
My rent's still expensive.
That's why I had like. I was like feeling like poor Gemma, but then I was like, everyone
Well, you didn't
realised.
say you've never
No,
gone through a
because
Gemma.
I smiled, right?
Yes.
And you can't take that away because I smiled because I was happy.
No.
I'm like, yes.
But that's it. The media is like, there's a rental crisis. Everyone's complaining about the rents. And yes, in some respects, and it's really difficult with my friends.
You've said this before.
And they're all like in the group chat, like, oh my god, my rent's gone up. And I do feel bad for them, but I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I should call Blink.
Yeah.
Can we put mine up?
We put 'em up. I did a podcast with one of our investors this morning, and he's like, "Oh, I'll put one rent up. A tenant offered $80 a week more, $20 here, $40 there. He's got 8 properties in like a year, or 2 years, and you know, they put him up. He goes, oh, one of my properties I only put up $20. I'm like, $20, 8 properties, $160. He goes, no, it's only $40, or $50, and it's, you know, we're seeing great things. So that's
Yes.
a big opportunity.
And I was actually talking to these today.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Oh, we were talking about everything being so expensive.
Yeah.
And just in normal, that's everyone's conversation nowadays. Everything's so expensive. And it just kind of fell out that I said, but it's not going to go back down. This is just it now.
It's the
Like the
I
cost
can't-
of things, like the
Yeah.
inflation, it's here.
Like they said, petrol's going to go down, and like
Waiting for that
I've
to
got
happen.
like the 2 cars, so I'm fill up petrol, fill up diesel, and I spent a month of just walking
Is
around.
that a subtle brag there, or?
No.
Just fill up this car and this car at the same time.
No. So I went and filled up the diesel, and then I'm like, okay, it doesn't have any rebates, so it's like $2.20 or some shit. And I don't look at the petrol price of that. And I went and filled up the little car, and I looked at it was petrol. I'm like, fucking $2.30 or something. That's what it was like last year. And they said, oh, it's gotten better and stuff. So the flow-on effect of this inflation, like people are worried about inflation at the moment. No one's seen anything yet, right? And this is like, it's actually very bad, like for all of us, right? If someone wants to talk about doom and gloom, your property prices are going to be fine, right? Like the rents are going to go up, like property prices will just continue to go up because the cost of materials have gone up, cost of everything has gone up, but it's not coming down, and it's exacerbating, right? It's growing faster than what we can control it, and the interest rates aren't going to be able to control it. We'll watch a video shortly to go through that, but the biggest, scariest thing people should be watching out for is inflation and the level of inflation that we're going to see. Like, this is nothing yet, but yeah. Anyway,
Well, we're the tone down. Jesus, we're all panicking now.
I'm excited, don't worry. Whatever way, it's like a bet that you're going to win on, right? It's a bet that you're going to win on,
Well,
but there's
that's
people
it.
that aren't prepared. Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm just agreeing. Like, it's property. If you've got your money, this is where I almost want to call people back from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to keep my money in the bank.
Yeah, how's that going
And
for you?
yeah, not to be a bitch. I'm sorry, but I do kind of want to be like, so how much is your money worth now?
Yeah.
You know? Unless you got obscene amounts, I suppose. I don't know, but generally.
But even if you have that, right, like it's just, there's more money loss that you're going to have, right? Like I think this is the biggest investment everyone should do, right? And it costs nothing, right? Actually, it costs a bit. I actually just had, because I moved house and I don't have any food supplies set up, I bought 4 massive above ground garden beds, like 4 meters by 1
I've
meter
tried
by
this.
1
I
meter.
got pests.
And I bought 6 IBC containers and turning them into aquaponics. You put the fish in the bottom, perch in the bottom, and you put the plants on top, and it grows
I
in.
have no idea what you just said to me.
I'll show you one day.
And
But
what,
I'll
an
t-
IB?
It's an IBC. It's a pallet. The big plastic drums, or 1 ton drums on a pallet, right? It's a big plastic drum, and you see them on farms and stuff. Where like these ones had soy sauce in them, right? And soy sauce for food and shit. So they're food grade. So when you wash them out, the chemical doesn't leach into the plastic, and you can use it for fish. You put fish in the pond in the bottom, and then a filtration system that goes into your food, so the food grows from all the nutrients of the fish's shit. So you literally is pumping fish shit into your food and growing your plants out. Because I don't trust food supply at the moment. Do not trust it at all.
Well, on my parasite journey, everything's got parasites.
Everything, right? You look at your food, you look at all that, and it's funny you say that because, I think health should be everyone. Like if we're in a war, like health, but more so like the food bill, your grocery bill, the cost of all your food is going up and up and up, and it will not come back. So you need to feed yourself, you need to feed your family, and I wouldn't trust, after March or May this year, I wouldn't trust eating meat or that out because it's getting poisoned in different ways. And I think everybody should be really into growing their own food, because as the cost of inflation soars, some fixed costs will just continue to go through the roof. And at least if you're growing your food, and if you're blessed enough to be able to find it from heirloom seeds, because heirloom seeds, which are like original seeds, they're not GMO seeds, so you can grow it from that. So spend about $1,000 on some germination trays and some heirloom seeds.
I need to get my green thumb first.
Yeah. Get the green thumb. No, you got it. Anyway, but. So the biggest industry opportunities you think rent increases. What else? Anything else like?
Just just the whole. We're seeing the inflation coming now, and it's going to happen. And mainly as well, the rent's going up.
Yeah.
And the interest rate's going up. How often does rent go down? It doesn't go down. So that's when that margin's going to come.
Correct. And if you've locked in your purchase price, you locked in your debt today, and inflation is taking everything else away with you, you will get into trouble. Everyone will get into trouble with inflation and hyperinflation. But the more shit you own, the more things you can throw overboard, and
well,
you've got more options.
Exactly. You've got more protection and options from it. So
Cool. And interest rates, I believe they'll come down this year. Our topic today is when will interest rate drops and how will it impact us. I don't care. People worried about like interest rates going to go up again. They're going to go up again. Like, I'll explain 2 reasons today as to why I don't care about interest rates. But we're not going to leave 2023 and go into 2024 with interest rates where they are today. They're going to be lower because the whole system is screwed. But before we get into that, one last question that we've got: if you could go back a year ago,
we'd skip that one. I was so happy you skipped it.
If you could go back a year ago and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be?
Well, as you can see, I wrote a few things down here, and I think all of them are kind of relevant, I suppose. I do firmly believe throughout my entire life, what's meant for you won't pass you.
Yeah.
So on that, it's all very well and good to say it, but if you don't put it into action, then it's pointless. I just think, I don't know, 12 months ago, I'd say I put a lot of limitations on myself. I was procrastinating, I was worrying, and I think it's just actions. Like, you need to do things, and also actually finding out what the worst case scenario would be, having a plan for the worst case, and then fuck it, it'd be fine. Do you know what I mean?
I think, especially in times like now, like people are panicking and interest rates and shit like that. They haven't looked at their worst case scenario. They look at the best case scenario, and they try and
far away
go. And they can go to like a trajectory of like, imagine how great it can get. But I always look at the worst case and go, okay, well, that's my baseline, and that's how we minimise risk with all the movements that we take. And I think it's important. So, cool. Well, today discussion is about when will interest rates drop and how will this impact property investors. I'm going to play a video for us, right? It's like a 5-minute video, and I want us to listen to it and think about and someone here says, let's read this out. You haven't been very good with economic predictions lately. The economy isn't collapsing as predicted so many times. Can you explain in detail why the system can't handle the current level of interest rates, as I want to get my head around it? Good question, very good question. So what would be the average interest rate, average loan size at the moment in the country, right? Like, there's people taking out $1 million loans. Let's say the new homeowner's coming in the market, they're buying $1 million property. That homeowner has now got to pay an extra 30 grand a year from this time last year to now, right? That's 30 grand. They have to now lose that from their budget. Where do they lose it from? They stop spending out, they stop eating out, and it has a trickle down. There is a time lag of when this happens, right? I could be a day too early, right? I could be a month too early, right? But it's better to be a day early than a day too late, right? And look at it. And if we look at, 3 years ago, I got laughed at because I said the word hyperinflation. Gemma, when you first started and I said hyperinflation, you would have been like, what the fuck is inflation, right? Like, I've never heard of this stuff. This guy's on
I
crap.
only ever heard about it in like the Second World War.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like once in a history lesson I got told about it.
Once in a history lesson. And we predicted it 3 years before it started, 2 years before it started. And, I might say stuff and I'm not right every day on the minute of how it will happen. But I know 100% that it is mathematically impossible for it to occur. And I'll play this video, and it's good that you brought that up, Jimmy, because I know that there's a lot of people there going, Birchie, are you wrong? You've said things that haven't happened. You said interest rates. And this is the other one, right? People have said, and someone wrote in last week and said, Nathan, you said interest rates won't go up, right?
Is this the email that I forwarded to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've said interest rates can't go up, mathematically can't go up, right? They have gone up. I didn't say they wouldn't go up. They just can't go up, right? So when I look at the interest rates, if they do go up, it will implode the system, right? So they have made their call and they have pushed that button, right? It's like pushing the big missile button, right? The missile button on a jet, right? And the missile button's been locked in. You can't take that missile back now, right? It's gone out. So they have made that decision. The system cannot fundamentally support that. And I've talked about it a bit on my last Facebook Live because I'm trying to do them once a fortnight so we're not, talking gibbery. Yeah. Don't make everyone bored of my voice. And I talked about how it's mathematically impossible. But I'm going to watch this video with you guys and we'll break it down because it's very, very crucial. And
maybe get them to comment if you can hear it.
If you can let me know if you can hear this as well. I've posted this in the Birch feed so you can listen to it later, share it with your friends, whatever. If you're not in Birch feed, go to birchfeed.com, birchfeed.com. Enter in your details. It's free. Don't need to be a tight ass. Add all your friends and family, share it around with them. I post out random stuff out there. Sometimes it's 5 times a day and sometimes it's not for a few days. But this is a video, it's from Patrick Bet David and it's called The Brokest Man in the World. The Brokest Man in the World. If you guys can let me know you can hear it in a second when I push play and we'll listen to it together.
So think about what broke to me is. Broke to me is you have a lot of debt, you can't make the payments, you're behind the 8 ball, you're stressed out. Every decision you're making it from a place of panic, right? I'm about to introduce to you the brokest man in the world, and they're making desperate decisions. And when a man of the household keeps making desperate decisions, guess who gets the biggest price that they have to pay? The kids of that father that's making all these bad decisions financially, right? So before I introduce this man to you, to realize who this irresponsible person is, if I give you value to this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. America's in debt $31.5 trillion. Uncle Sam is the brokest man in the world. But here's the kicker. Do you know what is the biggest interest payment we ever paid in the history of America? Q4 of 2022. It was the first time ever where our interest payment was $213 billion. The quarter prior to that was the first time ever we paid about 180. 4 quarters in a row was the biggest interest payment we've ever paid in the history of America. But here's the problem with that. In 2020, the interest we were paying on our 29 trillion was 0.5%. In 2021 was 0.1%. In 2022, it was around 1.9%. In 2023, we're going to be between 4.5% to 6% that we have to pay on our debt. This will be the first year.
I said it wouldn't be the people that'll go broke. It'll be the countries, the corporations, and their money. The only way they can get through this to meet their interest repayments is by printing more money. So they're printing more money, they're getting more debt to pay their debt off, right? And that's the checkmate move. And no one's fucking seen it. No one's talked about it, right? So that's just a little bit, right? And this video came out like 5 hours ago, or 5 hours ago when I watched it last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's probably like 24 hours ago this video came out. I've been saying this verbatim for like a year before this started happening, right? We've got a change in monetary policy at the moment where they're tightening, but they can't tighten. It's a checkmate move. They are screwed. So they're trying to fix this up. They're trying to stop inflation, but all that they're doing now is adding more to the inflation. The more that they push interest rates up, it means more that's going to be passed on to the end user, and then that's flowing around, whether it goes to energy or whatever. So the best thing that that one could do at the moment or invest in, and this is why I've been very big on commodity stuff, is commodities, right? Gemma, when you first started here, right, like you used to see me get about 50 parcels a day, right? Parcels. Right, I collect all different things, right? People think I'm one-dimensional, two-dimensional. This ain't called Birchie's property business or something, right? It's called B.Invested for a reason, and that's because I invest in the things. And, you know, whether it be gold or silver, or, and I'm not saying that's a good investment, but like I'm talking about coal mines, right? And I know single-handedly, right, like some of my biggest clients that I have are not, you know, a property client to us, right? The biggest clients that I have are BHP, right? They are my clients because they come and stay in my assets, which are the motels, right?
Yes.
And I have restaurants that feed these people every day. So I'm seeing hands on the ground information about the mines, right? I'm seeing information from the workers on what's happening with the mines, and news that comes out, and it's political. It is all political, right? And it is not going away, right? And you can see that the cost of energy is going up, right? That is where it's at. And what have we done in the last few years? Well, we can talk about it now because we were going through when everyone was spitting on, you know, different mining areas and stuff like that. And I don't like mining towns, right? But when you're picking them up for 20 cents on the dollar, 10 cents on the dollar, that's where the fun's at. So anyway,
Yes.
I digress. It's seen here, I'm an investor too, Birch, but a bit of empathy for tenants won't hurt. We're getting paid either way, wouldn't hurt to show a bit of empathy. I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to be rude, right? Because ultimately, as I said, like hyperinflation hits everywhere, right? There is empathy, but I'm talking about it from a different perspective, right? You know,
And not to be... well,
I've been
devil's
a tenant.
advocate. Yes.
I've been a tenant.
but-
I'm in a tenant in many different locations in certain businesses. I've got these cupboards full of companies that I have. Those companies rent properties. It gets inflated away. It happens.
Well, and we need tenants. We need
Yeah.
tenants, otherwise what we do doesn't make sense. But if I'm not going to get paid, somebody else is going to get paid.
100%. If people are worried about rent, and here's something for a tenant out, anyone that's renting a property, if you are worried about your rent going up by $80 a week, that is the least that you should be worried about, right? That is the absolute least thing that one should be worried about. The people are writing other stuff in here. The thing that people should be worried about is that they can't eat, right? Literally, I can picture this in the future. People will be making the decision, do I buy a nappy for a kid or do I buy formula for a kid? That's the real issue that's out there, right? People not having money to eat. The cost of eating has gone up massive, right? The grocery bill, but people will be accepting what they're being fed. A carton of milk is, you're not allowed to have non-homogenized milk. You can't have real milk, right? You have to buy the poisonous milk that they sell you, right? There's certain things that the food supply is getting worse, the food, quality of things are going down, and the costs are going up massively.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to the video.
In the
A lot of
history
more
of
gold in
America,
here.
where America is going to be paying $1 trillion in interest on our loan, on our debt of $31.5 trillion. Here's a chart to look at, okay? Our debt to GDP ratio is the highest ever at 124%. America has never been here before. By the way, even after World War II, if you go to 1942 to around 1988, our debt, national debt, was around $4.5 trillion to around $6 trillion. for 46 years. For 46 years, we kept it around the $4.5 to $6 trillion for 46 years. And then all of a sudden, America got into debt. Spend, and now these interest payments are going to go. So, we just did the whole Inflation Reductionary Act that we paid $1.7 trillion. Oh my God, that's so much money. Don't be surprised if 12 months from now, our interest is $1.5 trillion.
Right? So imagine that, right? The amount of debt, right? It's not what your household is. This is not a problem. We just need to sit here and hold our shit together, right? Like, naturally, right? Like, I've got tens of millions of dollars worth of debt, right? Every time that goes up, like 3% on 10 million debt, there's 300 grand a year, right? On 30 million of debt, there's like $1 million a year in extra interest, right? So someone's going to get fucked right now. Someone shouldn't be smiling, or someone should be complaining. There's a medium price house in Sydney that I'm losing every year, right? Because my interest bill's gone up, right? So if someone should be sitting here with the shits with the world, would you think it would be myself,
Someone
right?
who's dead to the eyeballs.
I'm like fucking
Yeah.
laughing, right? And I see it from the other perspective too. So I'm gonna, we'll keep watching this, but just putting it in perspective, the debt bills of these countries. He's talking about America here, right? But did Australia not take out $1 trillion worth of debt in the last 2 years? These debt bills are running out of control. The countries are going bankrupt, right? There will be a thing. There'll be a time. So there's a few things here. There'll end up being, people talk about the cashless society and CBDCs and collapse of our currency and all that sort of stuff. There'll be a thing called a SDR. It's called a special drawing right. No one's heard of it yet, just like never heard of hyperinflation before. But an SDR, which is a special drawing right, which will come from the Whoa, change video.
So let's define what
Went to a rap song that time. Let's go back to the video. But from the IMF, so we'll have to take out a special drawing right from the IMF. I talked about this in 2018, right? I did a mentoring program for a year, and I talked about it all, documented it all. We should actually pull some of those videos out and share them around, because what's happening, I actually said, I never knew that would blame it on an illness. I said that we would have a climate change event, and they will do quantitative easing for stimulus packages for people to go to green energy. I actually talked about that in 2018. I looked younger, looked skinnier, had a wrinklier face because I smoked a lot. I had less grey hair. I think I'm healthier now because I used to, smoke and shit all the time. But yeah, looking at it, that is what I saw back then. It's happening. But anyway, I talked about the special drawing right back then. But anyway, let's get back to this.
To around 1988, our national debt was around $4.5 trillion to around $6 trillion for 46 years. For 46 years, we kept it around the $4.5 to $6 trillion for 46 years. And then all of a sudden, America got into debt. Spend, and now these interest payments are going to go. So, we just did the whole Inflation Reductionary Act that we paid $1.7 trillion. Oh my God, that's so much money. Don't be surprised if 12 months from now, our interest is $1.5 trillion in 2023, the way they're raising rates. Number one country in the world with national debt is US with $31.5 trillion. Look what number two is. UK, 8.7. France, 7. Germany, 6.46. Japan, 4.36 trillion. China, 2.6. China's only in debt 2.6. Italy, 2.5. Spain, 2.26. Canada, 3.2. Australia, 1.83. US, $31 trillion at 124%. Okay, so what's...
So if you think about that, Australia's at like $1.8 trillion worth of debt, right? The US interest bill will be the size of Australia. That's their interest bill this year. Yeah.
Say that again.
The interest bill of Australia, of the US, right? The United States bill is $31 trillion in debt. China has a debt of 2.64 trillion, right? They've got like 1 trillion people there, right? So it doesn't really matter. In Australia, we've got 1.83 trillion with no one here, right? So Australia's debt is only, 30% cheaper than China's debt, but the size of it's massive, right? We don't produce anything. We just produce, debt. Anyway, the interest bill on the $31 trillion from the US at $1 trillion is almost the size of Australia's whole economy.
debt.
Yeah. Then let's have a look at
US
the GDP.
$31 trillion at 124%. Okay, so what's the big deal with this, pal? Why are we talking about this? Here's why. You know how we always trash Venezuela for their high debt to GDP ratio, right? 350%. Oh my God, look at Venezuela, what they're doing. How much GDP they have versus how much, debt they have. Or we'll make fun of Greece because they're at 206%. As bad as Greece is and as terrible they are with their finances, we're at 124. It's not like we're way behind.
So Greece went bust and it's
Yes.
got 206% GDP. US is at 124 GDP, right?
At 30
Look
or
what
40%.
Venezuela.
Norway's at 40%, okay? US is at 124 to 128%. We are doing a horrible job. So, for example, and this is not a Democrat or Republican, both sides want to spend money right now, okay? Back in the days, Reagan used to say to Republicans, every day is 4th of July, to Democrats, every day is April 15th. But today, both of them are spending money. This is not a left or right thing. Here's where I wouldn't be concerned.
And that's for every government around the world. Doesn't matter if it's Liberal or Labor. We've just seen the Liberal Party, and it's like, we're the best economic conservatives out. And they just went and put $1 trillion worth of debt on there. They just sold the country out.
We have $31.5 trillion. Our GDP right now is roughly $25 trillion, right? If our debt is 31.5, but our GDP is 62 trillion, okay, it's fine. We're gonna be okay. It's like you're making $65,000 a year, but you have $31,000 of debt, okay? Today, we're making $100,000 a year, but we have $128,000 in debt. That's a lot of money. That's a real thing to be concerned about. We are the 12th highest country in the world of debt to GDP ratio. This is not a good...
Venezuela is at 350%. Right? Venezuela is the dog shit of the economy of the world. Venezuela is dog shit. Anyone that's from Venezuela would sit here and go, that is criminal, right? It is criminal, right? Japan have been in a recession for 40 years and they're at 266%. Greece, 206. Lebanon, right? Lebanon, they're walking in and blowing the fucking bank up because they can't get their money. They're literally going to the bank, the central banker's house, and like ambushing him, right? Imagine all your Lev mates, right? You go to a party, you want them on your side, right? These guys in Lebanon, right? That's how pissed off they are, right? They're literally blowing up the fucking banks. They have 172% of GDP. It's not that far away. It's not that far away for the US. And the thing that we need to realize with the US is that the US dollar is the base currency of the world. So everything gets traded. If you're trading crypto and you have to trade it based in Bitcoin, then the US dollar is the Bitcoin of the fiat economy. So, yeah.
Bulletin to be on. So my recommendation, which obviously I'm not in politics, but if I was looking at this and how this relates to how we are as individuals and companies, whether it's a company, whether it's an individual, or whether it's a country, pump the brakes on spending. Let's figure out ways to increase GDP, and then let's try to keep this thing flat and cut it down a little bit. And these interest rates can be scarier this year with interest rates as it climbs the way it does. And then if we increase this, and this is here, then let's invest. They're all talking about right now having to increase the debt limit so we don't default. Obviously, neither the left or the right's going to allow us to default. It's a political catastrophic event. If they do that, the market will tank 33% to 40%. If they do that, the world economy is going to take it. No one's going to allow America to get to that point. But just like individuals, just like countries, just like companies, we have to pump the brakes on spending and figure out a way through innovation to increase GDP, or else this debt payment this year that could be $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion is going to be a scary sight. And the brokest person, when you make payments and you're seeing your debt's not going down, that's what America's going through today. So if you got value from this video, I want you to watch.
So when we think about it, right, the US is spending $1 trillion a year in interest, right? They're at 31 trillion now. For the next 5 years, they're going to have to get 5 years worth of interest bill. There's $5 trillion just to add to the top of it, right? There's no way of reversing this. They are literally the country is bankrupt. And their currency is based upon that. So what's going to happen with all the other countries, right? So when I say it's mathematically impossible, I just seen some of the comments come through. It's pretty funny. it's mathematically impossible, right? So they can't, like, just because someone can't jump out the window, right, doesn't mean that they won't jump out the window, right? If they jump out the window, well, it's not going to be pretty for them, right?
That's a bad analogy. It's a loose analogy, that. If you can, you can.
Well, you can't survive it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
Sorry,
Yeah.
maybe it's me that didn't follow that.
Okay, maybe it's a poor analogy. I like analogies, but we're looking at a system which it's mathematically impossible for this to survive.
Yes.
And they have made that decision. So that's going to happen now? They have to fix this up. So what they do is when they turn it around to stop the countries from going bankrupt, stop all the corporations from going bankrupt, is that they're going to have to put a lot more money in.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens at that point? That's where the hyperinflation comes in. Matt, you said Birchie for president. No way. It's I wouldn't be able to do it. But I imagine me as a president.
It'd just be bleeped out the whole time. They'd just be completely censored.
Oh, it'd be funny. It'd be like, you wouldn't know what it is, but there's a show back in the 90s. It was like a sketch show where they like make mockery of things, right? It's called like Fast Forward or Full Frontal. It's like it'd be like if I was like, that'd be like a Trump version. It'd be like just like a comedy version. It'd be like, imagine that. Anyway, so why does interest rate not bother me? And why does the interest rate not bother a lot of people out there? Yes, it's affecting us. Yes, it's affecting us massively. I just said, I've probably spent an extra $1 million a year on interest, right, in the last year. Am I sad? Am I crying? Am I sitting there going, oh, I literally haven't even thought about it, right? I've just done what I need to do. I've got my assets. I push up the rents and all that. Have I ever talked to you about interest rates?
No, but I was saying it today to the people that I was sat with, and because we're talking about this, and it was. I don't think about it. I don't talk about it because I can't change it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a burying my head in the sand thing, but my interest rate's going to go up regardless. I can sit and mourn about it, or just turn off the telly and stop looking at it.
I'm going to ask you a question, Gemma. Let's run a real life example of one of your properties, right? So let's go your first property that you bought. How much did you pay for it?
160.
160K. So you got a loan on it for 80% of that, which would be 32K off, 128K loan. Is your loan still? Is your loan still 128?
Oh, I think it's 132. I think I pulled out. I think I've topped it up somewhere.
Okay, cool. So you pulled out 4K, so 132K, right? At 3% interest rate, at 132K would be $4,000, right? You're paying $4,000 a year in interest at 3%.
Okay.
Right? At what would it be now, like 5.5%?
Oh god, it's like 6.5 or something.
6.5.
One of them was 6 point. I'm not sure if it's that one or not.
No, I don't think
some of them were at 5. Some do the 5, but
You
I'm
said
not
5.5,
sure. Some
right?
are like 6.2.
So 132K at 5.5%. That would be about 7K, right? So your interest rate on your property from 132K loan has gone up from 4K to 7K. Yeah? You're losing 3K a year. Yeah? There's just one property, right? That hurts, right? If you were paying that and that was your house you lived in, you'd be in a lot of trouble, right?
Yeah, because you're not making an improvement.
Correct. What was your rent a year ago on that property?
280. Oh, what, when I first settled it?
No, like
No.
Oh,
it was 300. It was 300. Yeah.
And what is it now?
350. It was going up to 350.
So you just put up $50. Yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
$50. So you had it 300, it's gone to 350. So $50 a week extra rent times 52 is 2,600 per year.
Yeah.
Your interest rate was $4,000 a year. Now it's gone to 7K a year. You're paying an extra $3,000. $3,000, but you've been able to push your rent up. $50 a week, 52 weeks, 2,600. 2,600 on top of it's $400, right? Does $400 really change your life? Because you've got the right assets, right? I was talking on the podcast this morning, which everyone will get to see in the next week, 2 weeks, whenever it comes out. Shane is the guy that I'm referring to here. We were just having a chat, and he was nervous about the conversation, and then it was actually cool to hear his backstory of how he came to us and that. And And I asked him, like, how have you found interest rates? He goes, I don't even know what my interest rate is. And I'm like, are you scared about interest rate? He goes, I don't give a shit about my interest rate, right? And I'm like, okay.
He's like
he goes,
the
I should
poster child for this conversation.
right? And then I said, that's interesting. I asked him like a price of one of his properties, and he said, I paid 95 or 97K. And I'm like, I don't know about what it is. Let's call it 100K you paid. His loan at 80 grand, 3% interest rate at 80K got up to 5% or 6% on that. It's gone up by like $1,000 a year, $2,000 a year, $40 a week. His property is the rent on that has gone up by like $50 a week, so it's two grand a year. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But the interest rates go up for a year, and then they come back down.
But the rent stays.
The rent stays. So it's going to be so far different. But that's why I've always talked about buying specific price range properties to have an economic model that is based on that. And everyone comes in and they go, you have these conversations with people every day, right? You sit in the inbound communications from people coming into the business, and you're talking to them, and you're like, okay, and they go, no, Gemma, I want to buy a house. I must buy a house in this area. It's for 500 grand. It's better to have one place for 500 grand over 3 places for 200 grand. You've got a smile on your face. I'm not on the phone. I don't even know. There's phones in this business, and I don't even know how to use the phone. I've never picked one up, right? I've never used a landline.
Remember the day you were so excited to dial me directly, and
Yeah.
you could literally see my desk from here, and you were watching it ring like a little kid.
Really?
You were like,
It's
"I've
disappeared. I
got
don't even have it. Someone's taken it. One of the
yeah,
new
well,
staff.
you don't need it. You don't use
Yeah.
it.
So when you're on the phone, it's like you're. I don't hear it. I just don't hear it. But I can picture that they're the
Yeah,
conversations.
there is.
If you had one property, you've got one rent. You got 5 properties, you got 5 rent.
Yeah.
Right? You got hooks in the ocean. You got tenants that can do exactly. So
And I think as well, like with investing, it's not a perfect science, of course. But what I always say to people, if you get to 5 to 10 properties, and I think there's a statistic that if you have 10 properties, one's going to burn down.
look, I've got
It's a
hundreds
loose
of properties.
statistic.
Yeah, I think like I've bought about 300 properties, like just residential ones. I own over 200 of them. Some of them have burnt down. I've probably had about 10, so maybe 1 in 30 will burn down.
So even take out the interest rates and take out economic status from it. If one of your properties is going to burn down, because that's the statistics, I can't even say it. If you've got 10 properties in the market, and one doesn't grow, one doesn't do what we thought it was going to do, one gets burnt down, you've still got 9 that's going to support you.
Yeah, but you get the insurance payout. It's great.
It's a different conversation. But same thing. But
Yeah.
like, again, if you're going to put your rent up by $10
Yeah.
across 10, it's 100. You're not going to be able to put your rent up $100 with one.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But I do have people that want to get the big bougie beach pads.
yeah.
And it's, they don't want units, or they just want houses and things like that. But they don't understand this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's the inflation that's going to...
In a time gone by, I remember when I bought my first principal place, I paid 1.2. I was so shit scared. I had a 954 grand loan on it. I thought it was going to go broke. Interest rates 8%, $1,200 a week, $1,300 a week in mortgage repayment, and I could afford it. But I thought, what happens if I can't afford it, etc.
Yeah.
And I put up about 30 of my rents, $20-30 a week, and I ended up getting $700 a week extra rent. So all my tenants on the other side of the 8 Mile paid for me to live in this property. I still own the property. Rents for like $1,000 a week. This is to a mate. It's probably worth $1,500 a week now. Still just sits there, but it's a land bank, and the neighbours have all sold for like $5 to $6 million. So if I didn't look at it from that perspective, I wouldn't have been able to push forward. Every time I make a decision in my life, it's like, how I don't sit there and go, oh, I've got to work harder, I've got to do this. I think, okay, well, I've got all these hooks in the ocean. What one do I reel in?
Yeah.
And use that to, and that's building those hooks in the ocean.
Options. You've got
Yeah.
options. Like the investors, and also investors are panicking with the interest rates, but deep down, like you said, if your rent's going up by $80, then that's like the least of your worries. But to investors, it's like, right, okay, my rent's going up as a tenant, fine.
But
But
the
if-
strategy.
Yes.
Like most importantly, if someone didn't have the right strategy, they would be freaking. And there's a lot of people freaking now. They
Or
don't
for
have the right-
investors, you mean?
Investors.
Oh,
Why
sorry,
not?
what I meant was that, like,
Yeah.
it's investors that are almost not panicking because they've got the options. They've got the 6 properties. They've absolute worst
No, but
case
there's a lot of
scenario.
people. There's a lot of people
Yeah, on the other side.
that there's a lot of people that had negative geared properties. There's a lot of people that bought properties that weren't structurally, financially, they were financially not set up to support this sort of market. And I've always said the importance of having a recession-proof property portfolio. People are scared house prices will fall down. People think we're going to be seeing bank repos. You can't go bank repo. You go bank repo on your property you bought for 160, it's worth 300. You've got a 132k loan on it. You're paying $5,000 a year in interest. You're getting 15 grand, 20 grand a year in rent. Like, you can't go bankrupt on that, right?
The asset's irrelevant. The actual asset itself. It's the
cash
debt
flow.
to value ratio that is the asset.
Yeah,
Which
and the
then
cash
makes
flow.
it, but it makes the actual asset a house, a unit, a duplex, a block of land. Doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. And I think investors get too bogged down in that, like, that's just literally surface level stuff. But Shane, make no mistake, he wasn't born like just not giving a shit.
Oh no, he said He said he needed to be talked off the ledge.
Several times. Like, I need to work with the Samaritans. Like, it was literally and it was good though because he learnt along the way and we taught him. So now it is a case of he doesn't, in the best possible way, I mean this, he doesn't breathe without my permission at this point. He's like, Gemma, I'm going to do this, can I do it? Or he'll be like, I need to buy a car, can I buy a car? I feel like his second wife. It's a good job I know his missus and she's lovely.
I haven't even got to news articles. I've just got a couple here. Not going to go through them too much. Here's one from CoreLogic here. It says here, Australia's illness-induced whirlwind love affair with the country's hottest regional cities has run its course, with values declining sharply as vendor discounts climb and days on market blow out. I did a podcast on this the other day, right? I'm not going to go into detail, but these statistics are crazy. Like, keep an eye out for the No BS with Birchie podcast for the CoreLogic, me breaking down the numbers on it, because I go through these numbers and they are all totally manipulated, right? There is less sales going through, and they say that house prices have fallen, right? They say house prices have fallen. And I won't go too far into detail because I was like, fuck, why do I have to talk? Like, I got this marketing and told me to, do a talk about the thing and my thoughts on it. And I started a rant and I was like, hang on a second. I pulled every bit of data apart. I'm like, this does not add up, right? So we're in a market now where interest rates have gone up. So that means people's servicing has gone down. One of your clients is buying their dream forever home. They're selling a few properties and they're buying their dream home. And their servicing went down from 1.5 down to 1.2 last week when the interest rate went up, right? That's happening to so many people. And I said to him, well, when we get there, we're going to sell a few of our cheapy properties that are going up in the market, because as the servicing comes down, more people are pushed to the cheaper markets to buy. So you can offload some of your cheaper assets, but the people that are at the top end that is at, they're getting hit with servicing, so they're in here the same boat. So yeah, but the thing is that there's less transactions happening at those higher price ranges now, right?
Yeah.
But people are more transacting in the lower end. So the lower end transactions are improving, meaning that the sales doesn't mean that the price has fallen. It means that there's higher volumes of sales at the lower end.
Yeah, there's actually was an article as well that people are pulling their homes off the market.
Correct. And the lack of stock, I'm not going to spoil it for everybody for when the podcasts come out, but the amount of stock has dropped by about 50%, right? 50%, so less stock in the market. So none of my regional properties have gone down. Exactly. Danielle says here, numbers never lie. Well, let's look at this, right? We have our friends over in China, right? And I've got lots of Chinese friends and, I can't speak Mandarin, but a lot of love there, right? So I understand that the government, though, is a very communist government, right? It's openly communist. They call themselves the CCP, the China's Communist Party, so that you know that they're fucked, right?
Is that the logo or the slogan?
No. If the slogan is something like, you don't vote for us, you're dead, or something, right? And you cancel your social credit. But this here is the repurchasing agreements, right? And this is just data, and this is numbers that don't lie, right? This here, one of my friends sent this through to me the other day. And she said to me, Nathan, the repo market's gone nuts in China, right? And the repo market, I don't want to go and bore everyone what it is, right? But the repo market is what happened in September 2019 when before the alleged illness went through and they had something to blame. The banks went bankrupt, right? The central banks went bankrupt, and the repurchasing agreement is where all the money goes into the short-term markets, and it creates like a bit of a liquidity issue, right? And what happened is they printed like, it started off with $10 billion a day, and then it went to 20, 50, 100 billion. Within a month or two, it went up to like 150, $200 billion a day worth of money that they were doing as repurchase agreements. So basically, when you have your bank and you send money, I send money from my account to your account, Gemma, and it could take instant or it could take like 3 days to get to your account. What that is it's the repurchasing agreements and all the banks selling and going, okay, here's your money, here's your money, here's your money. For the repurchasing agreement, sometimes the government or the central banks have to step in and handle that because the bank is dead, right? So if we have a look here, and said this was like, I don't know, someone's pulse, right? Or someone's heart rate or whatever it is, right? You could say on this side of the scale that there's not much happening over here, right? And you can say that here it goes, and then here it slows down and it's like, bloop, 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 right? And then now it's fucking running like motherfucker, right?
And what's the noise that goes with that one?
Bloop, 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 bloop. I don't know, right? And then here it's like, right, far down to the deathbed, right, which is in 2020, right? But we can see something very interesting here. This is 600 billion of yuan, right? $600 billion in short-term markets coming in, right? That's like never seen before, right? The repurchasing agreements have exploded to all new time highs, right? That's China and their economy. There's injection of liquidity to keep the economy afloat. Someone's dead out there, right? And they're injecting liquidity to keep this thing alive. The economy is in a vegetative state, and you can see this is only 2004, right? This is 2004, and it's getting worse and worse. You can see 2016, that's when our economies all started dying, was in 2016. And then, it seemed all right here because you had all the stimulus packages. It looked like back in the old days, right? Interesting. The liquidity is a mess. Anyway, this is my last article for today, and then we've got more things to talk about when will rates drop and whatnot. But this one here is from our friends over at news.com, and it says, repair the damage. Food boss reveals grocery prices will rise amid soaring inflation, right? And I saw an article the other day. It was like a press release from
Stop, there's like a domestic.
there's some jokes going on here, and it's I'm not getting involved in that one. I'm going to stick to what I'm good at, and that's
talking shit,
having fun with what's happening in the world, right? Imagine, I remember when Corona first started, right? I was in the basement of our office, and Bo was here, and there was no one around. Everyone was like locking themselves in the house and stuff, and I was just like, how great is this, right? Like, we're going through an apocalypse, right? That's what it felt like.
It's not two words I would have put together naturally, but
well, we get to go through the apocalypse together. How great is it, right? And if it's the apocalypse that it felt like, what other cool things there are, right? We can break it down, we can look at it for what it is, and we're going
through. Are you
through.
a germaphobe? Wouldn't that apocalypse of a deadly disease at the early stages have freaked you out?
It did for 2 weeks.
Okay.
But then 2 weeks to flatten the curve turned into 3 years of changing everything, right? I find it fun, right? Like, never beforehand would you guys have thought about, oh, maybe I should get a veggie garden, right? I would never have thought that, right? I'm like, let's go buy a new Bentley, right? But I don't give a shit about Bentley. I'm like, fuck, I need to have vehicles that run on different petrol, right? Petrol, diesel, whatever. What happens if they take out the petrol supply? What happens if they take out diesel supply, right? I've still got a vehicle, I still transport, right? What happens if they take out computers? What happens if, if there's, not if they take out computers, what happens if they track you or do stuff with your vehicles with computers in them? You need vehicles without it. They've got like 30 different cars, right? They're all just, old ones, new ones, ones that aren't registered, all different things, right? But it's for different levels of apocalypse that you go through. Anyway, I digress. There was an article, I don't know, I think it was this one here. It was Nestle that said, yeah, this is it. This is the fun part. Your weekly supermarket shop is about to get even pricier, with a major food company revealing the price of staples are about to jump yet again, right? Jump yet again, right? So it's not the first time they've put this up. The cost of supermarket essentials will jump even higher, with the world's biggest food company confirming more price hikes were on the horizon in 2023 as inflation soars globally. Speaking to reporters this week, Nestle CEO Mark Schneider revealed greater price increases were coming this year, despite the company boosting its prices by 8.2% in 2022. So your fucking Cadbury Dairy Milk just went up 10%, now it's gone up another 10%, right? So based on what? Based on higher cost of their funding, based on less liquidity in the market. It's the central banks that's causing the inflation, right? Based on the fact that coal prices have gone up, so now their electricity prices have gone up. So the cost of freezing those goods, transporting those goods, the oil, all of that stuff is what's causing it, right?
Yeah.
And there's no stopping this. There ain't no stopping this. Putting the interest rates up, it may have worked in a nice, fancy little environment, but this is beyond repair. They can't do it. You've jumped off the harbour bridge. You can't come back from that. You're in free fall. However long it takes you to hit the water is however long it takes you to hit the water. That's the economy.
Yeah.
I ain't here to say, oh, the aerodynamics of hitting the water under the harbour bridge is going to take you however long. I just know that I can see the economy's, right? The only way to
All
get
about the nose effect.
is picking up the pieces, right? And
But do you notice how, 2 years ago, it was only really us talking about this word inflation, and this is what annoys me about stuff.
Yeah.
We talk, not necessarily we, but we as in the conspiracy theorists in our tinfoil hats. We talk about something, and then there's this period where people deny it, then it's quiet, and then it's like, oh yeah, inflation, we all know about that.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, how
no one
have
knew
we-
it.
Yeah,
We've
we
been,
don't talk about it.
we've been the Birch feed, right? If you're not in Birch feed, I'll post some really random shit. Some people get offended by it. Some people get upset. It's not my intention to. But I've talked about chemtrails. I've talked about all different things that have occurred out there. And, the slogan for, if you go to the website, birchfeed.com, the slogan is history before it happens. It's literally history before it happens, because we're looking at the real fundamentals, right? And, I'm not always right to the date. I don't like to gloat. I don't like to sit here and say I'm 100% all the right. But I know that I've put data with stuff people aren't even questioning.
Yeah.
And people are going with blind faith. Matt says here, transport pricing up 30% in 12 months. It's insane. That 30% gets passed on. So as we go through here, I'm just going to go through. Our gross margin is down 260 basis points. That's massive. Do you know why they're down in money as well? Because people don't have it. They're spending the extra 30 grand a year on their $1 million mortgage that's gone up by 30 grand. They're cutting back. They're not having fucking 3 meals a day. They're eating shit food. They're eating not so good stuff. They're not going out. They are going out. There's still places, but the lights are on. The music is stopping, and people are realizing that there's no chair when the music fucking stopped, and everyone's, going to have to sit on a banana, and that's what's happening. So, Mr. Scheid acknowledged that the tough economic times were impacting everyone. Yeah, he's such a nice guy. He's realised it's impacted everyone, so let's just put the prices up, right? It's because they're forced to. And when people are saying, have some leniency for tenants, right? It's all just a part of the assignment. It's just a part. You don't see the central bank going, your nan's a nice lady, let's not put her interest rate up. It's like the fucking interest rate's gone up. 2 hours later, the bank sent you a letter, your interest rate's gone up by 0.25%. That's just the system it is. And maybe I'm harsh, maybe I'm just telling you as it is. So,
That's ruling with emotion, and everything we do is taking the emotion out.
Yeah. Grocery stress hits record high. Meanwhile, new research comparison site Finder shows grocery bills hit record high in February, with a whopping 2 in 5 Aussies ranking groceries as their top 3 most stressful expenses, the highest level since Finder's consumer sentiment tracker started in 2019. Before 2022, the highest figure had reached 25% in 2021. Grocery bill stress is now par with number of Aussies, 40%, who say their rent or mortgage is their top 3 most stressful expenses.
Shout out a little bit there.
Sorry for shouting in your ear, right? But there we go, right? People can't afford. I skimmed over this like a week ago, whenever it came out. I didn't even remember it was in there, right? I laughed before and I said, if you think rent or your mortgage is the most worst thing, you ain't gonna be seeing when you can't afford to feed your kids and family. Go and get food supply. I'm not being a fucking tinfoil hat. I'm not here going, oh, the sky's falling in. But at least you can control that you've got food that you can fall back on and eat, because the cost of it is going to rise too much. What can you invest in? What's it cost? What's it cost to grow food? Go onto YouTube. I posted videos on YouTube when Corona happened, right? And you couldn't get food at the shops, right? How to grow your own vegetables, right? And literally, do you know that, do you want to grow strawberries? You cut the skin off. The seeds are on the outside. You bury your skin off your strawberry in the ground. It costs you nothing. It's free. You throw the fucking seed from your mango in the bin, right? Grow it. You got a bit of dirt, throw it in there. Anyway, it's just fun to see inflation.
Do you want me to move out the way so you can flick it over your shoulder?
Nah, it's
I know
alright.
that's part of the...
Nah, just...
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so the topic's of discussion today. We've gone on for a bit. I hope you didn't have much on. Do an hour of Facebook Live, and here we are.
You always say it's an hour, it never is.
You can try to. Sometimes it is. When will the interest rates drop this year? What is my projection on this? And why do I think that? And, I'm not always right. Right? So here's my disclaimer. However, I said that we could not see, physically, we could not see interest rates going more than, we couldn't see interest rates go up by more than 2 25 basis point increases, right? Anything beyond a 0.5% interest rate means the whole system, the liquidity gets sucked out of the system, right? It's just that people don't have the money then, so it's all their disposable income's dried up, so they can't go and buy this, they can't go and buy that, they can't do the next thing. So we've gone way past that. There's no data based on these actions that they've taken. It takes 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. People are just starting to feel that they're going broke. People are just starting to feel that they don't have a job. People are just starting to go, fuck, maybe I don't need that car, I'll go sell it. I see car pages where they talk about like these cars that are hard to get and stuff like that. They go for 200 grand. They sell for 150 grand, but people are selling them brand new. They go to the dealership, they buy them for 160 or something. Then they go and sell it the day after for 200. They sell their spot in the queue. I'm now seeing people go, oh, I hope I get my money back for it, right? I hope I can get out. And that's the economy just slowing down. All these people think that they've bought these cars that are worth money. They've bought a fucking Tarzo that's a gold Tarzo or some shit that's like worth heaps. This is going to be the time where people see that maybe that's like an NFT, right? And they ain't going to be so well off, right? So it's only at that point that we will see the economy implode, right? And we are the second month in. We are 10% of the way through the year, roughly now, and a little bit over 10%. I believe, and I've said, the end of financial year is where I see the real data start flowing through and sort of calculating based on that. So I don't believe that we will go into 2024. They have pushed the button. They're like, we're going to push this as far as we can. We're going to show we did everything to attack inflation. And then they have to come back and change this. Otherwise, the country goes broke, the central banks go broke, our currency goes broke, US is going broke. Every country, they have to roll over their debt, they have to take on more debt, they're going broke. So I personally think end of financial year, roughly, someone will come in here and say, oh, Nathan, but you said it can't happen, and it might happen in October, but I'm saying end of financial year, and that's where I put money, and, take a bet on it. Whatever.
Should we do a wager? I don't care either way, to be honest. Well,
What's that?
either way I win. So put a wager on when it goes down.
A wager? Oh, like a bet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Like, I'm betting all the time. I'm betting my credibility. I'm betting all of my, face with the community, right? I'm the only person out there that puts their balls on the line and goes, this is how it's going to be, right? And, however many times I'm right, however many times I'm right, however many times I'm wrong, how many times I'm wrong. But no one else is out there doing it. So I'm putting I don't need to make a bet. I bet on the fact that my interest
I
rates
just
have
wait to
gone
make
up.
some money. Either way, if it goes down, I win. If it goes up, I win.
Exactly, you're winning. So the rents go up, the rates go up, the rates come down. It's a part of the cycle. Anyone here think that they're going to buy a property, right? This is how small-minded a lot of investors are, right? And I'm not trying to hang shit on people here. It's just to think of it, right? Do you think that you're going to buy a property today and interest rates are where they are, the rents are where they are? Do you think, like, someone might have bought a property 2 years ago, oh, the interest rates have gone up, right? You're buying it for 30 fucking years on the loan, right? 30 years your loan is. Do you think you're going to own a property for 30 years and interest rates won't go up, won't go down, whatever? Interest rates, I had one of your team members, I don't know if it could have been you or it could have been one of your colleagues, had asked about my email where it says interest rates are very low at like 4%, not 8%, right?
It's probably Wayne, he's a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
So it's probably
This is
Wayne,
live.
he's a bit of an idiot.
No.
Hey, well, he honked shit on me today about these lives, so I wanted to get something in. Go on.
Look, no one's an idiot. We're all looking at things different, right? And Wayne's very knowledgeable and he's very good.
Love you, Wayne. He'll watch this. If he's not watching now, he'll watch it tomorrow. So.
You're in a lot of trouble tomorrow. I don't want to be in the firing line. Someone said to me about the interest rate being I made a comment in an email to the client and I said, at 4% interest rate, it's very cheap, right? So a property, I think in context, right? It was a property in an area which previously sold for 300 grand and I've got it for 150, right? And in the email I said, the interest rate was 8% and now it's very cheap at 4%, right? Roughly 4%, 5%, who cares, right? My point being is that I'm buying something, what can you buy, like everything, tell me, what can you buy in 2023 that's cheaper than what it was in 2020, let alone cheaper than what it was in 2013, right? Or let alone cheaper than what it was back in 2008, right? 15 years has passed since 2008, right? Interest rates are 50% cheaper than where they were, right? And if I can find a property that's 50%, so the cost of holding that has gone down by 50%, and the price I'm picking up 50% cheaper than what it was, that's a fucking mad buy. But people are sitting there going, oh, interest rates have gone up or whatever. Like, you're buying a property for 30 years, right? 30 years, let's just put it in perspective. 30 years at 12 months is 360 months, right? You take out a mortgage, you're paying the fucking bank 360 times that mortgage repayment, right? Until it's obliterated, right? And who wants to pay out debt anyway? But anyway, let's assume you do. You're paying the bank for 360 months. The interest rate's gone up for 9 months straight. Who gives a shit? It comes down in another 6 months, comes down in 12 months, comes down next month, right? That's 12 months, 18 months out of your 360, right? You're making a decision based on something that's like, yes, I understand there's a lot of hurt. And if people are hurting, come and speak to us, right? That's what we can sort of look at what we can do and restructure things and help you. But, but the bigger picture, like, fuck, you're buying a property going, 9 months of interest rates? Fucking 9 months of interest rates, who cares? They've gone up 2%, it's still nothing, right?
Yeah.
It's cheaper than inflation. Inflation at 8%. If they're not lying to us with the CPI and the inflation is 8%, well, your 5% interest rate is still less than inflation. Still less than the 30% rent inflation that's going on out there.
Yes.
Right? Who gives a fuck? Right? When people are looking at it like, oh, it's so fucking, because you haven't looked at your strategy. You haven't got the strategy right.
I have actually had some clients that will pull out of a deal or they won't do a deal because my interest rate has gone up. Like, I lost a deal, that last one, because of the interest rate. And I was gutted, like I could service, and then one day I couldn't service anymore, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
But there's people that they'll go into the deal, they'll find out the interest rate, and they'll actively go and say, I'm not doing this because of the interest rate's just gone up.
It's funny.
Yes,
No.
well, it's not. There's a lot of effort and time.
No, like, it's funny.
I know.
It's funny because it's like, it's just like, look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
we have people that could have bought 10 properties a year ago, and now they can buy 2, right? We know people that could have bought 6 properties that cannot even service to refinance their property now. And it's very common. All of us, me, you, everyone watching here, that has happened to us, right? So we've got all these people that are sitting there going, oh, I'm going to wait until prices fall by 20%. But yet the prices on the good price stuff have gone up because that's all people can afford, right? So they've screwed themselves on not taking action. But let's say that the price did drop by 20%, right? Let's just assume it dropped, right? You can't afford this shit now. You can't get a loan, right?
But that's it. People wanting to wait. I want to wait till the interest rates go down.
There's
Good
people
luck.
waiting.
Like, you're not going to be able to talk to me for the next.
People are
goddamn
going to be
hour.
waiting from 2020 to get a fucking bargain.
I know.
I went through my realestate.com. I save shit, right? If I've got something besides something, whatever, I'll go through it. I was fucking scrolling, looking for things. I look like I'm on Tinder going, yeah, fucking scrolling through that shit, right? I'm there. I'm scrolling through it for like just pushing it, pages and pages. I'm looking at stuff for 2020. And I'm like, get the fuck, like the prices on things that were there. And I'm like, why didn't I buy more? And at the time, I could only buy what I could buy. You know, I push myself more than anyone, right? But the thing is that the prices, like 50 grand for houses, are now 300 grand, right? People go, oh, I'm not going to buy there. It's cold. The TV said you can't. It's going to go shit. Oh, global warming. Shut the fuck up, right? You're renting for $400 a week. You could have bought it for $50. Now it's 300 grand.
Yeah.
Mindset.
It is definitely a mindset.
It's always
for
a
sure.
challenge. I have challenges like, you knew it was going to be great. I'm going to get animated today because I was just in a silly mood before coming live. I was in a silly mood. I think I'm tired. I become
Well,
like
you
a
are
kid.
walking a lot. You're probably low on energy. You're probably delirious.
I did 5 hours worth of walking last night, and gym. I walked to 4 gyms last night and did
Ew.
like workout. I walked
Ew.
suburb by suburb to the Anytime Fitness. Like, I'm going to do that after
You don't
this
do
too.
things anything like small, do you?
No, there's
Go
no
big or
fucking
go
around.
home with you.
Exactly. How a rate drop impact how will a rate drop impact
do you wanna
property
have?
investing? Property investors starting their journey or growing their property portfolio. Well, I know by our community, I know by my businesses, I know that there's thousands of people wanting to buy property out of a pool of people that want to buy a property, right? We might have 20% of people being scaredy cats and 80% of people that can't. Let's say 1,000 people called us today, right? 20% might be scaredy cat. So 200 of them are like, I'll wait until next year and see what happens to the market. And then the other 800 people will be like, I want to buy it, but I can't afford it because the banks won't service. Get me a loan, whatever. So if interest rates were to come down, servicing would improve. The banks have improved their back end of the servicing, so people can service, but it doesn't help because the interest rates are going up. So that would create like a vortex, right? It'd be like a tsunami, right? A tsunami doesn't go, oh, there's an earthquake and fucking bang, everyone gets wiped out. Tsunami, people going, oh wow, the water has gone out, like fucking, you know.
Fucking Shakespeare over here.
Exactly, right? The water's gone out, but the people are like, oh, the water's gone out, and then it fucking comes back, bang, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a tsunami. So the bank's policy, there will be a time when rates don't go up and then just, oh, rates have gone up 0.25%, let's bring them down 0.25%. Go look at history when interest rates came down. They came down 50 basis points, 100 basis points, 100 basis points, 25 basis points, 50
So it's going
basis
to
points.
come down a lot more aggressive.
Faster, because when they come down, the economy's fucked. There's the flag. They go, oh, the economy is dead.
Will bank policy likely get more favourable to encourage people to take out more loans?
Well, it has.
Or now?
It is more favourable for people to take out loans now, right? But the problem is that they don't service still because the rates have gone up so high.
So the bank's still trying to encourage them?
Yes,
Right.
because they want to sell their money, right? The bank is a real estate agent for money. They're making a commission on the money that they're getting from somewhere else. They're making a clip. They need to sell that money. So if they're not selling as much money as what they sold, the banks will go bankrupt. If there's not as many transactions occurring, right, the government doesn't get as much stamp duty and capital gains taxes, meaning the government needs to borrow more fucking money. Yeah, is it starting to occur to everybody, my excitement? I've been trying to say this shit for a long time. I've been trying to, but it hasn't clicked on for a lot of people. But I hope it's starting to. I can see like Gemma's like, oh yeah, it's like the government doesn't have the
Yeah.
transactions. They go broke. They have to take more money. The more debt they take out, they can't pay their bills. They've got to take more. This It's mathematical. I calculated this before it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not simple. It's not rocket science. It's common sense.
But it's weird. It's not that the penny didn't drop. I obviously understood it, but it's like every route you go, no matter what the question is, the answer is always the government can't afford it.
There is not a bone in my fucking body that doesn't tell me that the currency is dead, right? It is in a vegetative state. It's on dialysis. The dialysis is the
fist
central
is out
bank.
now.
The dialysis is central bank feeding it and keeping it alive.
Yeah.
They've turned the dialysis off. What's going to happen? Oh, he's made it 2 days. Okay. Fucking, we need to bring in the, they're going to have to like jump the body up. Jump it. Right? That's where we're at. That's the economy. Can the Australian property market cope with further rate hikes?
No.
It can't even support the ones it's got now. You ain't seen people go broke yet, right? We've got here, yes, you're right, more tax slaves needed. We need to migrate more people in. We can't breed quick enough to get people to pay taxes.
And you wanted to kick us all out during COVID.
I didn't want
That's coming back
bring
to bite
more
us on
people.
the ass.
Bring more people in. Open those gates. We need more tax slaves, and I need to be clear. People say I'm being racist when I say we need to import tax slaves. We need tax slaves. They're all tax slaves. I've had some commies comment that before, and they're like, Nathan's racist because he says we need tax slaves. Anyone writing that is a tax slave himself. I'm a tax slave. You're a tax slave. We need to try and break free of that. But yeah, that's where we need more tax slaves. Bring your mates over, Gemma. Tell them. Bring all your maybe not pommies. You know.
Hey!
I'm joking. Well, UK's got the second highest amount of debt to GDP, so it's.
But the best kind of people. So.
Well, it's screwed. So we're going to have refugees fleeing to try and find somewhere that's going to be safe, but they won't be able to afford to get out because everything's too expensive to them. So
flights are ridiculous now. It's insane.
because inflation. Why? Because the jet fuel needs the fucking jet fuel. You need fucking avgas to fly the fucker in the sky.
I'm going to sit quietly because it's like putting fire every time.
Yeah.
I just make a comment. It's like
Great.
putting fuel on it.
Great, I'm fire. How will the rate drop impact property prices? Pretty common sense. Do I need to have? Well, there's more people who can afford them. That's the only reason. The only reason why properties went up in value and inflation surged is because they just made cash so cheap. They've taken it all away. They gave everyone a dialysis machine, and they've taken them all back and said they turned the power off at the power grid and said dialysis machine don't work here anymore. Oh, but I thought my money would buy. Your money doesn't buy shit now, pal.
Is that the next T-shirt?
Pretty much, if people want to have T-shirts and stuff, we're getting merchandise this year. This is one of the things, right? We've got something cool coming out next month. It's like a cool something. Everyone will see it in the community, but we're gonna have merchandise in the future as well. So it'll be like tell your boss where to go. You know, all different merchandise. It'll be cool. Taxation is theft. Any ideas? You got any sayings that I've said that are funny? Like let's put them together. How interest rate movements should impact the long-term game of building wealth as a part of the cycle, right? Tell me where you've seen for a decade that rates haven't moved. There is one place. It's Japan, right? That didn't work too well, right? So you need the opportunity. The volatility brings the opportunity and it shakes down things, and it's great. It's all political moves that are too great for all of us to, understand.
Fathom,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's beyond the realm.
Got some questions for you, Gemma. What are some of the common questions that you get asked on this topic?
On interest rates?
Interest
Probably
rates or
all of the above. Just everything you've said. It's not so much necessarily questions, but more statements. And that's funny. No one's asking enough questions, I would say. They're not asking the questions. They're not discussing it. They're not wanting to know. They have the opinion. And the general opinion on every media outlet is interest rates are going up. Everything's terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to tell people otherwise, but they don't, it's like they don't, I don't know, they're not asking enough questions to learn.
Because they're two-dimensional,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And the only way to break free is to look at things openly, right? You've never heard me say, oh, we can't do it, right? Unless you just, the answer is no. It's like, if there's a brick wall there, well, that's it. But it's like, well, what do we need to do,
Yes.
right? Kids are inquisitive, but they go to school and they get slapped down and it's like, okay, this is the box you got to fit in, right? But people are just mentally designed to be thinking that. So.
But I think it comes even before that. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not necessarily asking questions about interest rates, asking questions in general, and even educating people on their idea of debt. So I'll tend to tell people when I first speak to them is we love debt, and that almost shakes them out of the debt's bad thing. You know what I mean? If you tell them we love debt because debt's the asset, then that makes them ask questions. So then when it comes to interest rates going up and inflation, it's not so alien to them.
Can anyone share with me, has anyone ever in the property space, I see all these bloody ads and shit come up and I've seen all the fakers over the years, but is anyone out there talking about debt or has an understanding in the property space to even know how debt works? Like, I feel like
There's a couple in the UK.
Okay.
There's a couple in the
Anyone
UK.
here? In the
yes,
property
there
space?
is. I don't know what his name is though.
They're probably just copying and watching these videos.
To be fair, yes, it does feel very much like.
Yes, there's a couple that are fakers, so they wouldn't know their arsehole from breakfast time.
And
so.
one's a young guy.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah.
Questionable that you knew exactly who I was by one word, but anyway. So yeah, that's his identity. But yeah, I think people just need to ask more questions and want to understand it. Like, yeah, don't just take it at face value.
Well, what do you think holds people back the most? Like, is it interest rates? Tell live vision, right? Tell live vision. We'll go to he says, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Wait, where is it here? It'll be all right. Most people are watching the satanic Grammy Awards, right? If you've seen what they're putting out there in the media, I don't watch TV, but I see it just in posts and stuff, and it's like, people are brainwashed, right?
Yeah.
It's brainwashing, and we want to try and, wake people up from that, and it's.
But yeah, what holds people back is emotions and their own preconceived ideas. Not their own, what they've been told, so it's not their fault. However, with the greatest of respect, almost don't call me up asking me to create wealth if you're not going to shift your mindset. The only way you can do it is by shifting that.
Well, I want to. Someone wrote a name there, which is. Yeah, that's one of them. There's a couple of them there. There's 3 letters. It sounds like the Communist Chinese Communist Party, but it's a bit different. Yes. There's lots of them. It's right? Like, I made a conscious effort, right? One of my commitments this year is that I want to get fit again, right? I'm fucking old.
That wasn't your description earlier before the video was on. What's your actual goal?
No, I want to, I looked at myself in the mirror. I had a few drinks, mate came over, had a few drinks. I woke up with the biggest hangover, right? I don't drink that often, right? But if I do, I can do a good job at it. I was looking at myself and I felt like, who's this old fat bastard in the mirror, right? Who's this fat bastard in the mirror, right? And I felt like I'm the Family Guy, Peter Griffin, right?
Yeah.
That guy on there, right? And I'm like, I look like a cartoon character, right? And I'm like, I just need to look after myself. And I saw this guy on TV, on a YouTube, and it's called the Bucket List Family, right? It's called the Bucket List Family, and he puts up like these videos. They just travel. They don't have a house. He's worth like $50 million, and I'm like, I've got all this money. I'm like fucking worth all this money or this, but I just want to be like, I want to look like this guy, right? And he's like fucking doing yoga on his boat that he's rented for the week and stuff, and he's just like sharing with his family. I'm like, I just need to like look after myself, right? And I need to look after myself within. So I thought, well, it's been 7 years. I went through a stressful time once, about 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
Once.
And yeah, all the time, right?
Just that once.
That was stressful. It's like a pushing through, right? And I just realised that I just stopped going to the gym one day. And I was going like 8 times a week. And I was like doing all right. And I was like, I need to get back there, right? I need to look after myself, right?
Our bodies are our biggest asset.
Yeah. And it's like, for me to be my best self and live my best life, I need to be, like, I've got all this money and shit, but it's like, I just want to look after my health. So I was like, I'm going to make the commitment. And I walked like fucking 30 Ks. I went to the gym one night, right? And I was at my holiday house for a while. Went to the gym. And I walked to the gym and back. I was walking like 30, 40 kilometers back. It was raining, right?
Were you in flip-flops?
I actually want to go and speak to Archie's, right? Because they're the thongs that I have. I've blown these, like these things, they go forever, right? They're all made as a part. I don't own shoes, right? Some people may be watching and not realize I don't own a pair of shoes. I literally don't own shoes. And I've walked like about a million, I don't know, at least a million steps, right? A million steps. And in a pair of thongs, right? But it was raining. It was fucking 12 o'clock at night and I was at the gym and it was raining. I called real estate agents at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? As I'm walking back home. Last night I was walking at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can say I want to do whatever I want to do, but if I'm not committing to that, if I'm not doing the actions, you saw everyone had cake beforehand and shit, right? Like birthday parties in the office and stuff. People having cake and that. It's like, I'd love to eat the cake. I walk past Macca's, I love it, right? I know it's got nothing good for nutrition, right? I haven't been to any of these places. I haven't touched anything, right? It's the will and it's the commitment to that. So, my thing this year was to be healthy, right? It's like my big thing. I just want to look after myself. So, if my actions aren't in line with that, and I go, oh, fucking, skip it, whatever. Well, then the commitment. People want to be successful. They want to. They tell me all these lovely things. They tell you all these lovely things. You tell yourself these lovely things. But what commitments are you making towards it? And I think that's where people fail.
Yeah, when it gets a little bit painful.
Yeah.
Which gives one of our real questions, difference between successful and unsuccessful is having the action and being committed to it. And when it does get a little bit tough, not stepping out, not being like, okay, well, this is a little bit uncomfortable now. It's not for me. Like, you really need to be okay with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What's the saying? There's like growth comes from being uncomfortable, or the most growth, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The one day, like, I went to the gym, pushed myself so hard, I couldn't lift my arms, right? I literally had to sleep like this, right? For 3 days, I had DOMS, right? Which was really bad. I couldn't move. But I was like, did I go, I'm not going to go out? I was trying to fucking do legs. I was trying to do whatever I could, right? I climbed a mountain, right? I climbed a fucking mountain in like 40 degrees, like a big mountain, over the ocean, like kilometers, and I was walking like this because I couldn't even get my shirt on or off, right? But that's the thing, it's just pushing yourself and making it happen. Cool. Just seeing lots of people commenting there, so we'll get to these questions in a moment. But what are clients, do you have like complaints or things from clients, what sort of things? Kind of is a question to ask you. Yeah.
No, so yeah, I think our biggest client complaint, just a disclaimer, I actually got asked this week.
Okay.
And I thought it was very interesting. Like, it was, I've never been asked it before. Everyone wants to hear the good stuff, but this person wanted to know the shit stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And look, there's always issues in any business. Sometimes your Big Mac at McDonald's is cold, whatever it is. But I'd say
being cold would be the least.
I know.
If you start looking at the ingredients and the chemicals that you're eating, that's the other.
What I'm saying is, like, nothing runs like a smooth ship, all the time. However, what I would say is not common, like, it's not that we're pissing people off every day, but I'd say a lot of people would come to me and say my property didn't meet the expectation. It didn't grow, or my property didn't, I couldn't increase the rent because it's locked into a lease, or I didn't pull equity out. And we had that conversation about, I haven't been able to pull equity out my first two properties. Mm-hmm. And I would be sat there thoroughly annoyed at you for it.
Yeah.
But it's managing expectations of people, and of course it's our job, but sometimes a bank changes its policy and you can't get the equity out. Sometimes we're not every property is bought for equity.
We're not the value of the property.
No, but I think, and you make it sound very easy, sometimes you do, but I'm hanging the shit on you for this one, but sometimes, we're going to pull 50k out from, watch this settle, pull the equity, go again, and then people get very upset if the bank just...
I say there's a possibility.
Yes, I know, but it's still part of everything. But not every property has equity. Not every property is designed to grow. Not every property is there for cash flow. Everything's there for a reason. And I think letting people know what it's there for is very important, first and foremost. But also being realistic. Investing is a risk. And it's just taking calculated risks with a buyer's agency.
We have people calling up and they're like, I ask them, what are your goals? And they're like, well, I want to earn 500 grand in income passive in the next 2 years. And it's like, well, you're on 50K, right? And we have people that are on 500 grand a year and they go, I want to earn 50K a year passive. And it's like, man, fuck it, up your game,
Yes.
right? So it's being realistic with your goals, right? Like, I could say I want to be 80 kilos, right? I'd be a skeleton if I was 80 kilos,
Oh my
right?
God, it looks sick.
So it's like it's being realistic about what you're setting out to achieve,
Yeah.
and yeah,
But yeah, I think it's not just using a buyer's agency isn't a absolute foolproof. You're definitely going to, but when you're relying on inflation and things like that, you're edging your bets. But I think when you compare it to people going off realestate.com and just dumping money into a cheap property and hoping for the best,
yeah,
or make a calculated decision, yeah, you might wait a year for your equity to come out. I've been waiting 2 years for my equity. It's there, I can see it, I know it's there.
Yeah.
But the bank that I'm with just simply isn't playing the game yet. So it's just, that's where I get people, you said I was going to get equity, oh, I didn't. And you still got to play the game with the bank.
yeah.
And I'd say that's probably a client complaint when they haven't managed their own expectations.
I asked your client, Shane, on the podcast that I was filming this morning, into some questions, and he's like, oh yeah, I pulled equity out. I asked him, like, how much did you pay for it? He goes, oh, I paid 97, but the loan's 130, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was like, so you must have valued at 150, 160. He's like, yeah, I guess so, right? And I was like, okay, cool, right? We'll put equity out. And he's like, yeah, but we didn't just pull it out of that one. When I pulled out that one, I pulled out 2 others, right? And he had it for like 4 months. So there is no, like, there's shit that we've bought over the years that I was like, look, you're just buying this for cash flow. You're not going to get equity. I don't think it is. Leave it as it is. And then 3 months later, they pull out like 50K equity, right? And there's stuff where it's like, hang on a second, 3 other sales have just sold for 50K more, and someone else just pulled up next door to you 50K equity, but the bank comes back and says, no, we're not going to give it to you. And it's a
You
it's
shut
a
out,
risk.
look, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is
But
what it
you'll
is.
get
Come
away.
back next loading. Yeah. What should property investors do during uncertain times?
Well, I wrote turn the TV off, but that's not probably what you're looking for, but
Well, I don't know. It's
just
a question
nothing
that I-
different. Do
how
what you can on the day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we should be changing. The interest rate going up or down shouldn't change what we do, unless it's, your lease is still in until it's at the end.
Yeah.
At the end of your lease, you should be looking to review it anyway and put it up. I think during these uncertain economic times, just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, let's think about if it rains, right? It's raining on here outside. I was told it was raining. I may not be able to go for a walk, but I'm still going to go for a walk and take my fucking shirt off too. Soak it all in, right?
Just
Anyway.
unnecessarily graphic, but
You know?
okay.
So if it rains, right, do you concrete your yard? Do you build another roof over your house? Like, it's stupid. Like, why would you sell your house if it's raining? Would you go, I'm not going to drive on the road today because it's raining and people have car accidents if it's raining, right? Like, would you, like, you go, no, I'll put the fucking windows wipers on and make sure that my, headlights are working in the dark. And, you minimize risk. People just go, oh, well, it's a rough economic. You're buying a property for 360 months, 3 years, and you're not going to think that sometime in the next 30 years is going to be a bad economic time.
Yeah.
It's delusional, right? Yeah. What's the risk of not investing now?
You missed the ball, that's it. You're out the game. You'll get a chance.
When you started here, like, it was the start of all the weird shit, right? Like, all the objections. Imagine, like, you're coming into property and no one even is in the building, right? There's no one here. Like, everyone's locked in their house and shit. All the objections you could ever have been handed to you. You go, I don't know how to answer this, right?
I would always be asking you, well, someone said that they're scared of COVID, and now I'm looking back at myself like, oh, you're so cute.
Exactly.
I wish we were worried about COVID now.
Exactly, right? So we had the biggest psyop, let's call it that, right, in the history of our livable lives, the people that are watching this and here now are live, like, and, well, this guy's going to fall in, whatever, and what happened? They didn't invest. What happened? Times, yeah.
And the people that 2 years ago, well, it's nearly 3 now. I've been here nearly 3 years.
It's 3 years.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Are you bored of me? Yeah, because this is atrocious. This
I
needs
know.
to be cleaned.
Yes. It needs to be fixed up.
Sorted.
That.
Jesus.
No, just don't step on it. There's
I don't want to step on it. That's why I'm. Oh God.
my office is a mess, guys.
Shithole. No, it's not. But yeah, 3 years ago. What was I saying?
Like just people not investing.
Oh yeah, who wanted to wait it out till the end of COVID. They waited.
It ain't gonna
Shit
end.
outlook.
It ain't gonna end, folks.
No.
It's
And
not
then it was
gonna end.
like, I want to wait until we see. It was something before interest rates. I can't remember what it was. But I want to see what happens with that. It was probably I want to see what's happening
Yeah.
with that and my
Yeah.
job. I'll wait till the end. And now I want to wait till the interest rate, see what happens. There's going to be something else to wait for at the end. There's going to be something else after that. There's always going to be an excuse.
Yeah.
So I think, and I understand it's very easy. It's easier said than done to just not panic, but talk to people that can actually help you. Talk to the people that aren't worried. Why are they not worried? Talk to the people that have been able to build a property portfolio during the apocalypse. Like,
Yeah.
if you're building a property portfolio during the apocalypse, as you called it, probably have a chat with them. If it doesn't resonate, still just have a good day, wish you well, but you might just it's surely got to be better not to panic. I know I say to you, I want to take the other pill now.
Yeah.
I want to go back to blissful ignorance.
Yeah.
But now I'm over that. I'm like, okay, you just make your decisions around that. Knowledge is power, which is very cliched, but speak to those people and you might not be Shane, you might be the same person, won't be panicked on the end.
But you can't put a price on that peace of mind of yours, right? And like imagine, I've always thought that. I remember once, I don't know, it was like I was like 18 and my girlfriend was at the time was talking some whacked up shit like, oh, why can't you be like this? Why can't you do this? And I'm like, man, I've got to work. It's like I'm working 2 jobs, like all that sort of shit. And I used to think, like, why can't I just be simple, right? Why can't I be simple like you? Why can't I just think like you?
Yeah.
Why can't I just be happy like everybody at the pub here, going, oh yeah, it's Friday night, thank God it's Friday, and but you realise that it's like, wow, that's limited, right? You're
Yes.
unlimited. Unlimited is what you can think of and what you can do.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, I just realised we've been here for 1 hour and 40 minutes, right? And it's been fun. It's been good catching up with you, Gemma. And it's been good being on live with everybody. And until next fortnight, I think I've got guests coming on. Like I've got lots of my team coming on this year, which I want to share the team with everyone. So
Well, we are the real magicians behind it all.
well, I love to think that I'm so great and I'm so awesome. I can do all these things, but without good people and the right people around you, you can't do, right? And you've seen me over the last 3 years have good times, bad times, things go right, things not go right, just in business and whatnot. And you're only as good as the people that you've got around you, and that's what you guys do. So I guess as a parting note, there's a comment section, there's a description of this. You can book in if you've got any questions or if you're stuck or you need help for the next part of your journey. How can people, besides that, like you just click on there, book a calendar link, you can have a chat
Click
with
on
Gemma.
the link, you can book in a discovery session, which is a fancy way of saying have a chat, find out your position as it is today, where you want to be, see if we can help you, and if we can, we do have people we can get you to get you into the best position. If you are just panicking and you want to just bounce ideas around, call me, I'm always up for a yarn. But yeah, the link will just get you into the team for us to have a chat.
Awesome. Well, if you want a yarn, follow the link.
Is that a word here or not?
Yeah, it's like you want to have a chat. Want to have a yarn with you.
Oh
like
God,
a-
it's so a
Want to
yarn.
have a fucking let's have a yarn, mate. Yeah. that's how an Aussie would say it. But I don't know.
I feel like I'm relearning the Aussie slang again. Since I come back from England, my accent's gotten stronger again, and I have to repeat myself 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And little things that I'm saying, words, I have to check. Do you understand what I mean? I actually found out.
Do you speak English, Nathan? Yes, I do, mate.
So I use this saying. I'm not going to say it because it's not PC. Right?
What?
Those are B's.
That's an O.
Yeah.
That's like a...
Yeah, right. But to me, it's not. So I was saying that Hannah was gobbing off. Oh God. In English, sorry, in England, it means like you're shouting
talking.
and you're giving someone shit.
Oh,
And
don't
then
say...
exactly, but I got told the other day I've been
It's
saying
rude.
this for
Yeah.
3 years, and I
Yeah.
don't know that I'm saying something really rude.
It's...
Yeah,
yes.
I know now. I know what
Yes.
it means.
Yes.
But it's not what I meant.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So this is the danger of being a foreigner
Yes,
a
like
foreign
a
land.
thong. I wear thongs,
Yeah.
right? But I don't wear thongs, right?
But I will never call them thongs. I'm never going to call them thongs.
Flip flop jandal.
It's a flip flop. They literally sound like a flip flop. A flip and a flop.
How's it go?
You're the sound effects guy.
Flip flop. I don't know. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and
He's gonna eat.
get to things. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you do want to work on your position, improve your position for 2023, take advantage of the apocalypse out there, and be educated with the information that you need to succeed in this. Reach out to Gemma, reach out to the team. We're all here, and look for being a part of your journey. And as someone just said, a thong is a
See?
G-string.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I'm the mother tongue. That's why I'm sticking to it.
Reach out to us. We're always here. And if not, we will see you not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Every fortnight this year, I will be here. I did take a month off of Facebook Live. I needed some time for myself. Need to catch up on lots of things. And here we are. Catch up soon. Have a great one. Thanks a lot, Gemma, for being here. And we'll catch up soon, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.